समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् Hari Om. So we start verse 19 today. And this verse and the following also 2 3 verses, people have a lot of doubts in their minds about these verses. So let us see, because we are talking about the cosmic form of the Lord. Here it is: अनादिमध्यान्तम् अनन्तवीर्यम् अनन्तबाहुं शशिसूर्यनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां दीप्तहुताशवक्त्रं स्वतेजसा विश्वमिदं तपन्तम्. It says, the translation, I see you without beginning, middle or end, infinite in power, of endless arms, the sun and the moon being your eyes, the burning fire your mouth, heating the whole universe with your radiance. Now, look at all this. See, the thing is that he says, an adi madhyam anantaviryam. So there is neither middle, no beginning, no end of this. And he says, I don't see. So he sees from where to where. It is only the Lord. Now, see, these paradigms of middle and beginning and end are only possible in the world of form. Think about it. These are only possible in the world of form. That it begins from here, this is the middle, and this is the end of form, any, no matter how small or how large. But something that is beginningless and endless. So he is talking of that which is beyond form. Okay, which is beyond form. Now, here he says, another thing he says is infinite power. That is total power, limitless power. He sees him with limitless power. That's why the word anantaviryam. Anantaviryam, यहाँ पे है ना वो first line देखो. Anantaviryam means limitless power which Arjun can feel. And then he says Shashi Surya Netram. Sorry, Anantabahum also. Anantabahum. Anantabahum means with many, many arms. Okay. And then he says Shashi Surya Netram. That means your eyes are the moon and the sun. Right. Now, Pashyami Tvam Deepta Huta Shavaktram. That means I see you as that fire. I see that fire in your mouth which consumes all. Hutash. Hutash means that which consumes anything that is offered to it. ऐसा क्या है? Fire, isn't it? Fire consumes anything that you offer to it, burns it down to ashes. So here he says that that fire which eats all, that is whatever is offered to it. So hutash, jahan deepta hutash vaktram, the mouth has that kind of fire. Now this kind of fire that eats all or consumes all, it energizes the whole world, it radiates the whole world, and it illumines the whole world. That is the fire. And Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam. So, because of your radiance, the whole world is lit up. The whole world is lit up. Now, in this, you see, there is another thing. The body is the space, the Lord, the Lord's form, as he has described it. The body is the space, heaven is the head, and Prithvi are the feet. This is the three, this thing that he has done. And he says, infinite arms, many arms. Understand that there can be no form like this, isn't it? Have we ever seen anything like this? No. For that matter, have we ever seen God? No. So, what is the form of God that he is describing? This is all symbolic language. It means that he is the power that functions through every hand, functions through every head, functions through every mouth, functions through all eyes. Think about it. That without this radiance of sun and moon. Now, see, sun and moon are the principle of light, as Gurudev has translated it, that they were the only known principles of light in the ancient world, the sun and the moon. Moon represents reflected light, and the sun represents its own light. Okay? Now, the sun and the moon, रात को moon, दिन में sun. But the sun and the moon, the light principles, are the two eyes of the Lord. Okay? And in these, and he also gives the number two, because eyes are two, so he gives you two sources of light. It doesn't mean that really you can draw a picture. See, calendar artists used to do this funny thing. I've seen this kind of calendar art. You know, when I was a kid, there was a calendar hanging in the house in which this cosmic form ki picture some artist, or kya horrible picture, huh? Thousands and thousands of arms and eyes, ek taraf moon bana, ek taraf sun bana, and mouth open with fire coming out of the mouth and all. That is not, there is no form as such. Please understand, there is no form, huh? So now here, think of it like this. See, if the eyes were not there, he calls them eyes. Na? If the eyes were not there is no world for you. And if the sun and the moon were not there, again, there is no world for you. Isn't it? If there is no light, you can see nothing in the world. So the world doesn't exist. Sun and moon are only representatives of light. So if there is no light in the world, you cannot see. And if there are no eyes, again you cannot see. So he has taken both the light and the two eyes, the sun and moon. Burning fire in your mouth. I have told you that hutashu means one that swallows all. Now the mouth is the one from which you eat, and the digestive fire which is inside, which digests everything that you have, the all consuming fire that heats and energizes. Acha, देखो, warmth is necessary to maintain life, isn't it? No life can exist without warmth. Think of the sun. If the sun becomes a little colder, life will be extinct on this planet. If the sun becomes a little warmer, again life will be extinct. You see the climate changes today. Why? Because we are playing with forests that control the temperature. We are playing with the layers in the atmosphere which control the temperature. They shield you from certain rays of the sun, isn't it? But we are playing with them. So, all the destruction that happens. Now, even think of it, your body temperature. There is a normal temperature or not? थोड़ा ऊंचा हो जाता है, ओहो, वेरी हाई फीवर. और थोड़ा नीचे हो जाता है तो डेड. देन यू से ठंडा हो गया. कहते हैं ना, ठंडा हो गया. ठंडा हो गया means what? There is no warmth left in the body. You touch a dead body, it is cold to the touch. Therefore, the heating and the energizing, the life-giving property in the body is heat. And that heat, he says, comes from the Lord himself. And he warms up, his radiance warms up the entire universe of names, forms, creatures, vegetation, even creatures in the sea or creatures in the sky. It heats up everything. So it is that, and it he calls it swatejasa. That means that heat comes from him himself. Vishwam idam tapantam. The whole world is lit up, the whole world is warmed up with that heat. Hmm. Okay. Now then, see it. I have again said that this cosmic form is not really a form. Only form needs space. Only form requires space. But what does space require? When something is formless, you cannot go, you cannot say, कि, okay, limited to this, it is unlimited. ठीक है ना? So beyond form goes beyond space. Carefully. Beyond form goes beyond space. Because then it becomes Adi Ananta. There is no beginning, there is no end. Okay, come to the next verse. द्यावा पृथिव्यो रिदम् अनन्तरं हि व्याप्तं त्वयेकेन दिशश्च सर्वाः दृष्ट्वाद्भुतं रूपम् उग्रं तवेदं लोकत्रयं प्रव्यथितं महात्मन्. This space between earth and heaven and all the quarters are filled by you alone. Having seen this, your wonderful and terrible form, the three worlds are trembling with fear, O great souled being. Acha. Now, see, he says, the space between earth and heaven and all quarters are filled by you alone, because he is formless. Anything that is formless or which is everywhere will fill every nook and corner, will fill every space, isn't it? Now, the space between earth and heaven is called antariksha. ठीक है ना? Antariksham, what you see, the whole sky, the whole entire universe, right? So that and all the quarters, anything you can see between earth and above is called antariksha. Antar बीच में जो है, हाँ, अंतर, antariksha. So truth, now see, Arjun is seeing this whole thing. This is the concept, and the theme is infinite. As Gurudev writes, that the theme is infinite. Now he is talking of infinite, with whether Arjun understands or doesn't understand. Now then, earth and heaven and all the quarters are filled by you alone. That is what Arjun sees. Having seen this, your wonderful and terrible form. Adbhut, the word Adbhut means amazing, amazing, wonderful, amazing. And Ugra means terrifying, terrible and terrifying form. So the three worlds are trembling with fear. There are no three worlds that are trembling. But पहले ये concept था that there are three worlds. That is Patal, Prithvi and Akash. These are the three worlds. So when he says three worlds are trembling, it means all the creatures that are there underground, above ground, and in the air. That means all creation is trembling with fear. How can they tremble when they are not even seeing the Lord? A question arises, na? Any student is going to ask, कि भाई जब उनको दिख ही नहीं रहा, Arjun had दिव्य चक्षु, and he was given दिव्य चक्षु, remember, to see the cosmic form of the Lord. But everybody doesn't have दिव्य चक्षु to see the Lord. So how are they trembling? It is Arjun himself who is trembling, and he translates his fear to say that anybody who would see this kind of form in all the three worlds would tremble, will tremble. So Arjun is frightened, and he conceives that this form, which is beyond time and space, is frightening. and it would frighten anybody at all. Now, having seen this, your wonderful and terrible form. Wonderful and terrible, I have told you, wonderful is amazing, amazing form, and ugra means terrifying. Huh? Now, एक चीज और सोचो, it is the form of the Lord. ठीक है, 1 minute. And it is also a cosmic form. Cosmic means all pervading. So how can it be frightening? सोचो. Fear always comes from the other. You do not fear yourself. Please think, huh? You do not fear yourself. Fear only comes from another. Whether it is a human being or an animal, tiger or a ferocious bird coming to attack you, or a weapon, or whatever it is. But fear is from the other. It could be a snake, a reptile, a tiger, a what, a what. You cannot be afraid of yourself. So how is Arjun afraid when he sees the cosmic form? सोचने की बात है. Arjun has excluded himself. He over here is the thinking that he is the seer and the Lord is the seen. So he is objectifying the Lord. So how can you say that Arjun saw the cosmic form? See, according to many Mahatmas and a lot of learned saints and Mahatmas, they say that Arjun did not see the cosmic form. He only saw it objectively because he did not include himself. And that is why he was frightened. That is Arjun's problem right from the beginning also. He is not in, his vision is not inclusive, it is exclusive. Duryodhan and his army, he excludes. They are the other and I am this. Even when the Lord tells him that I pervade everything, I am in all the other army also, I am in you also, in your army also. The Lord has told him, but Arjun has still not understood. He has not understood the cosmic power of the Lord, the cosmic form of the Lord. He thinks that that is Duryodhan's army. Usme kaun hai? My teacher, Bhishma Pitama. How can I kill them? So and they will kill me for sure because they are marvelous at युद्ध विद्या. उन्हीं से तो सीखा है अर्जुन ने, है ना? तो वो तो सोचता है my teacher will kill me. He is much better than me. So he is looking at his teacher as the other. He is looking at Bhishma Pitamaha as the other. He is looking at Duryodhan's army as the other. तो ये तो प्रॉब्लम उसकी शुरू से है. So that problem has still not gone. Huh? So Arjun does not have a cosmic vision over here. He is only visualizing it. बाहर से he does not include himself. Now see, this is something. ये सोचो कि the wave has still not realized that it is the ocean. है या नहीं? The wave, Arjun is the wave. He is just a name and a form. Arjun is the name and that is his form. He has not realized that he is part of the Lord and part of the cosmic universe. He thinks I am separate. मैं देखने वाला हूँ. It is in his mind, it is the seer and the seen, and that is the reason he is frightened. Understand it very clearly. उसको जो डर लग रहा है वो है ये इसी वजह से. That he is staggered by the power, the immensity and the form of the Lord. Arjun is trembling. Now, this is Arjun's, the picture that he is seeing is his subjective picture. You project with your mind what you imagine. So Arjun, जो उसको दिख रहा है ना सब, वो it is his own imagination, his own thing. Now see, the humanism of Vyasa, just see, he calls, Arjun over here calls the Lord Mahatman. Last word देखा verse का, Mahatman. So Mahatman means a great soul who accommodates all creation. Unless and until all creation is accommodated, he cannot be called a Maha Atma. This is two words, Maha Atma, a great soul. A great soul is only he who does not exclude anybody, who includes everybody in his embrace. So, our religion, Hinduism, is not excluding anyone. वो पापियों को भी कृष्ण जी include करते हैं. He has given hopes to the biggest sinner. In the Geeta, you will see, he has says that nobody need to worry. Nobody needs to worry. I will forgive all sinners who come to me. That is what he has said. It is not this that आप पापी हो, आप criminal हो, तो आपका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. No, no. Everyone is going, if they are turned towards him, he is the one. He says, Mame kam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. He says, don't worry. I will I will be the one who will, मैं आप सबको पार करूंगा. That kind of thing. And he says. So it is that, there is beauty and immeasurable depth in this word Mahatman. Because Arjun says that you are the one who will benefit the entire world. Hmm. Now, see, Arjun always had this doubt that will I win or will these people win? And he also had a doubt that does he even want to win? Just think about it. A warrior like Arjun, he had this doubt that do I even want to win? Because if I win, I can only win by killing all these people. So I am killing my brothers, I am killing my teacher, I am killing my grandfather, I am killing my uncle, I am killing everybody, my nephews. So do I want to even live after doing such a thing? It was a big joint family. And despite the fights, there were ties. Blood tie can always be revived. Please understand. एक मिनट में लड़ते हैं, एक मिनट में भाई भाई हो जाते हैं. Many times you will see this in life. Because the blood is the same, the moment emotional appeals are made and your selfish interests are gone, the other one also comes a little forward to melt. But when it is you are different, I am different, and both are snatching the same thing, then obviously there is going to be a fight because there is a difference, right? So over here, look what he says. Arjun is seeing them as other, but yet that blood relation is there and he does not want to kill them because he says that will be a great sin. Okay, now come here. There is going to be total destruction, Arjun understands. But if there is going to be total destruction, is it a good thing or a bad thing? वो भी वो देखें. So if it is a bad thing, should we fight at all? Now here. अमीहि त्वां सुरसङ्गाः विशन्ति केचिद् भीताः प्राञ्जलयो गृह्णन्ति स्वस्तीत्युक्त्वा महर्षिसिद्धसङ्गाः स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः. Verily, into you enter these hosts of devas. Some extol you in fear with joined palms. May it be well, thus saying, bands of the great rishis and siddhas praise you with hymns sublime. Now, the last line says, Stutibhi Pushkalabhi and Swasti. Swasti means let there be everybody's welfare. The word swasti, swa asti. So it says, may grace be upon all. They don't exclude anybody. I told you, inclusive hai. Hinduism is inclusive. It prays for everybody. आपकी वो famous prayer है ना, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः. You are praying that may all be happy, may all be healthy, may there be prosperity for everybody. Imagine what a beautiful prayer it can be. Praying for everyone. So verily into you enter these hosts of devas. Now hosts of devas, देवता हम लोग हमेशा सोचते हैं वो देवलोक में रहते हैं. They are denizens of heaven. So how do denizens of heaven come down? Here it only means Devalok, those people who take human form to come down on this earth and who are very good people and who are constantly helping society. They come only to help society, like Gurudev. Look, Jesus, Gautam Buddha. Think about these great souls, Mahatmas, who have come down and their only agenda in life is to help society, to do good for the people, to do. So they are called Sura Sangha. Sura Sangha means group of good people. Ami Hitvam. He means indeed, indeed. Verily, Gurudev has translated. Indeed, and what does he say indeed? Into you enter these hosts of devas. So they are all going into you. What does that mean, going into you? It only means he sees them dying, right? That means nothing will exist. Everything in this world is open for destruction, open for change, open for destruction. Think about it. You and I do not know of anything at all in this world that will not be destroyed. If it has been created, which all the world has been, all objects, all beings in this world have been created, they will all be destroyed. So, destruction and creation go hand in hand. And unless destruction takes place, construction cannot take place. You have a very old house, you want a new one. What is the way? Destroy the old, create the new. That is the only way. So here he says that into you enter these hosts. Devas, some extol you in fear with joint palms. Joint palms is prajanjali. ये है pranjalayo. ये जो है pranjali is both palms joined together in devotion, in prayer. That is called pranjali. हनुमान जी की जो मुद्रा है, there's a famous verse also that he's got Ashrupurna Netram and Pranjali. Pranjali means folded hands in gratefulness. So, Pranjalayo Granante, and he says that they are all frightened, you in fear with both palms, extol you, some extol you in fear with both palms. These are also some of them. Dekho, he says, uses the word some. है ना? Some of them. So there are basically three different categories of people he is talking about. One is the devas, one is the artha who are afraid, and the third one is the rishis and the siddhas. तीन तरह के लोग यहाँ पर उन्होंने गिनाए हैं. Now also understand that grace will be on all people, because even one adharmi can cause destruction. Maybe all of them are good people. देवता के संघ हैं वो. देव संघा क्या कहते हैं वो? सुर संघा. सुर संघा. All the people are Sur Sangha. Sur Sangha means group of good people. But even if one person is an adharmi, a man who does not go by values, who doesn't care about the welfare of people, he can cause destruction. Don't we know? Hitler, Mussolini, Napoleon, the people who are selfish, Genghis Khan, you can name so many of them. So all they do is destroy, destroy, destroy. Just one man can be a destructive. Now there is a theory of somebody called Thomas Malthus, who was a demographer and a political economist. He used to say that the population multiplies much faster than the facilities the world can provide or the commodities that can be used by the world. So then what happens? What, see, if the people are more, then there will be starvation, won't there be? So he says to control that starvation, there has to be war and disease. Only with war and disease can population be controlled. Otherwise, population keeps on multiplying beyond bounds, and the earth's facilities are not enough to feed everybody. Food is not enough, clothing is not enough, hmm? Everything is not enough. That is his theory. But it says that even one person, you don't need a population or anything, even one adharmi can destroy. It is not just the increase in population. Even one adharmi can destroy. And then the Lord has to the Lord has to descend and come down to save the world. Now, see, there are three kinds. एक जो प्रांजलि करके खड़े हैं, वो कौन है? They are the frightened warriors. They are the frightened warriors in the army. Then Artha Bhakta are the devotees in distress. And Siddhas are the one who understand that the destruction is as necessary for construction. So they are standing and praying. They are praying for the welfare of all. They pray for the welfare of everybody. Now here, whenever आप दुखी होते हैं, जब भी आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है, that is the only time everyone turns to prayer. है ना? उस वक़्त भगवान सबको याद आते हैं। और ये तो आगे पीछे कुछ नहीं, आगे पीछे just dance away your life. That is what. But at that time, the only what is the dialogue? अब तो भगवान ही बचा सकते हैं। सुना है ना? तो भगवान ही बचा सकते। तो तब भगवान बचा सकते हैं, उसके आगे पहले नहीं भगवान बचा सकते। So anyway, अर्थ जो मनुष्य होता है वो हमेशा he turns to the Lord. हाँ? Now then, all I have told you, just this point I have already made, that all destruction, all construction entails destruction. This is the point. There has to be destruction, and only then there will be construction. So the picture of the Lord swallowing people means that there is constant death going to be there. There will be constant change. Only then the world can exist, otherwise it cannot exist. Cannot exist. Supposing your great great grandmother was still alive, yeah, the great 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 grandson would be chasing her for marriage, है ना? Just think about it, how idiotic the world would become. There would be no place to live, there would be no food to eat, there would be no clothes to wear. So that destruction has to take place. It is part of it. Now, Siddhis and Brahmagyanis understand this, and then all have to be destroyed. Insects, bacteria, organisms. Right from there onwards, the Lord is swallowing. When this picture of the Lord swallowing, it only means that destruction will take place. They dissolve into him, and then they are created by him. They dissolve, and then they are created by him. So the Siddhas understand this thing, and he says that, please, these are the supernormal people, Siddhas, who have realized the cosmic form of the Lord, and they only know one thing: just pray to him and surrender to him to shower his grace on all, that there should be no pain in that destruction. So they say Swasti, Swasti, Swasti. That is the prayer that the Siddhas are doing for the whole world. So they only wish everybody good luck, peace, prosperity, and health. And that is what Swasti means. They are not at all disturbed. They are not perturbed like the Artha. Artha रो रहे हैं, बिलख रहे हैं. पर ये जो सिद्ध लोग हैं, they are calm and peaceful. So it's here. Next time we will do verse 22. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnamada Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।